Welcome back to the Everyday Saint. This week we are in Rhode Island visiting the very first shrine dedicated to St. Therese of Lisieux. It is called the Shrine of the Little Flower. To begin, we're going to be listening to Sister Grace as she explains the history of how the shrine ended up here. As she discusses this, you'll also be able to see the grounds of the shrine. So what you're first looking at is this really beautiful stone structure. This stone structure is meant to mimic the Passion of Christ. So pilgrims will come to climb the stairs on their knees like you would if you visited the holy stairs in Rome, while also praying over the Passion of Christ. Other things that you're going to see in this area, we're going to go beneath the shrine there. There is other shrines that dedicated to images like the statue of St. Therese of Lisieux. There's also the Sacred Heart of Jesus. You'll also see many saint statues around the grounds. These are dedicated and donated by pilgrims who have either had miracles happen here or have a great love and devotion for St. Therese of Lisieux. They also, you'll notice, like picnic benches and chairs placed throughout the shrine. People will come and have their family events here, family reunions, all while dedicating and devoting themselves to the Shrine of the Little Flower. They also have the Stations of the Cross all throughout the shrine, a rosary walk, and a location dedicated to Our Lady of Guadalupe. We'll see as we listen to Sister Grace.
The shrine is the first shrine here. It was founded through the healing of a woman down the road on Route 7. Her name was Florilda Fafford. She had been sick for many years. We met her daughter, who was 8 years old at the time. And she said, from the time I was very small, there was always a bed in the living room and someone taking care of my mom. Mm-hmm. Well, when the priest was asked by the bishop to form the new parish, he asked St. Therese for a sign if she wanted it to be named after her. First time he went to her, she was in a coma and very unresponsive, but he thought maybe she could hear. So he said to her, I want you to ask the little flower to help you. And he left. The next day he came back. She was a little more responsive. She couldn't speak, but her eyes were open. She was able to receive Holy Communion. And her daughter said to us, she said, well, after the priest left, my mom just got out of bed. And she said, I'm all better. Run down and tell the priest. And it was an instantaneous, miracle through the intercession. And that was the sign that this shrine should be here. It should be named after Therese. And everything that you see here is actually a thank you. Statue of St. Therese. This woman and her husband were poor, but they went door to door to collect enough funds to buy the first statue. A man over there received a favor, and he donated all of the land where the Way of the Cross is. And somebody else came forward, and they received a favor from her, and they built the holy stairs out of wood originally. Mm-hmm. And even till today, people come forward and they say, I want to donate a statue in memory of my mother or father as a thank you to St. Therese.
While we take a look at some of the other devotions displayed at the shrine here, we're going to hear a little bit from Sister Grace about the actual life of St. Therese of Lisieux. And if you ever come and pray here, these are absolutely lessons that you can come and pray with, because St. Therese of Lisieux is truly a saint for all of us to learn from in her little way of doing things with great love.
St. Therese, she talks about how she wants to be a living tabernacle, a living monstrance, a living host, and St. Faustina as well. And it's true, because there's less and less of them and more of Jesus. And St. Therese, she said, I like to pray the way Our Lady prayed at the wedding of Cana. She didn't tell Jesus what to do, told him the situation. They have no more wine. And he took care of it in his own way, according to his own will. And who would have imagined water turning into wine? But when we give him the freedom to take care of us according to his will, it's so much more wonderful and beyond anything that we could come up with. And St. Therese also said she liked to ask the way Martha did. Martha simply sent the message to our Lord, the one you love is sick. She didn't tell him what to do. Who could have imagined a man 4 days after being in the tomb walking out alive? Things are so much greater when we say, Lord, I trust you.
Yeah.
This is the situation. You take care of it. Well, St. John Paul II said this. He declared her doctor of the church. And it's so simple. St. Therese reminds us that the most fundamental and most universal truth of the gospel message is that God is our Father and we are His children. He is there for us. That's what St. Therese, it really, that's her message of trust and confidence.
We ended the tour of the shrine by visiting the small but meaningful museum that they have here at the shrine that they're just starting to build now. They're just starting to get donations for it to build it up and share some of the untold stories, if you will, of St. Therese of Lisieux. And I had the privilege of sitting down with Sister Grace to learn more about some of these stories of how to pray like St. Therese of Lisieux, how to live like St. Therese of Lisieux, which you can hear all of these stories on the Everyday Saint podcast, where we learn how to pray just like St. Therese. So please check that out as you watch the rest of this video to hear more of those stories of St. Therese and learn how to live like her from the perspective of Sister Grace, who so wonderfully works at the Shrine of the Little Flower. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to show you more shrines next week. God bless you.